Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, Volume 3, number 18 is up next on the block here. This is from 2001. We're going to flip it over, and who remembers this movie? Josie and the Pussycats. So a fun little movie, fun little comic book, and I'm going to show you what you would be able to see if you were here with us. That is the light shining off the cover. We'll let it wiggle jiggle all the way down. We're going to look for any kind of flaws. I'll let you use your best judgment in seeing any kind of creases, any of these little ticks, any corner wear that you might want to see. We'll do the same on the back. That way, rather than take my word for it, I'll let you use your best judgment, your expertise, and your knowledge in determining what it is that you want to put into your collection. We'll also flip it open here so you can get an idea of the quality and condition of the pages. That way, if there's any tears, if anything's ripped, you can see the colors, the amount of ink and brightness. If anything is cut out like that, you'll see any water damage, any stress marks on the staples, or anything like that. We'll also show you this last one. That way, if there's any writing in here, and sometimes you can see a little bit extra the stuff on the front cover, like this little crease, from seeing the back side of that front cover. So there you have it. That is Sabrina number 18. We're moving right along. Here we have Sabrina number 20, volume 3 from 2001. We'll see the front cover rather, the back cover. We'll let that light do the wiggle jiggle all the way down so you can see for yourself. And we do these in 4K originally. Sometimes it gets downscaled by the time it gets to you, but certainly enough that you can take all the time in the world and really look at this. You can fast forward, pause, zoom in, zoom out, rewind, do what you need to do to make sure that this is the book for you. Finally, we end with a couple of the interiors on this one. We're moving on to Sabrina number 21. Still from 2001. Based not on the show, based not on the original comic, but more based on the animated series. In addition to the video, you can also check out at TheBigToyAuction.com. We'll have a link to the catalog, the same place where you're going to leave your pre-bids. You can also see some high-definition photos. And again, zoom in, check it out, look at it, make sure it is up to your specifications, so that the quality and condition is exactly what you want. Moving on, number 22. Of Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. We'll flip it over on the back so you can see that as well. And then we're going to shine that light as we do. Let the light get in there and show you any kind of nooks and crannies. If there's any creasing, you will see it. You'll be able to see any of these ticking right here. And we encourage you to go back, rewind, zoom in. We don't want to take up too much of your time right now, especially if this may not be a book that you need in your collection. But if the next one is the one that you need, then we certainly encourage you to take all the time in the world to look at it, make sure it's up to your standards, and know what it is that you're going to be getting at. Sabrina number 25 from 2001. This is volume 3. Up. I do want to point that out so you can see there is this doggy ear, and I'm going to bend it backwards, not to try and hide it or anything, but just so that when it goes back into the sleeve and sits with the other comics, maybe it will press itself out a little bit. I believe it breaks color, and we'll see that in a moment. But first, let's shine the light all along right here on the front cover, and we'll move over to the back. Yeah, it probably breaks color right there, but I want you to be aware of it. And then we will also jump right into some of the interiors. I'm going to try and keep that like that so that when we put it in the back in its bag, it will be ready and hopefully press itself out just a little bit. 26 in the series is volume 3 of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. We'll flip it over on the back. And let the light tell the rest of the story as it shines on every little nook and cranny, That way, if there's any flaws, any imperfections, especially along the spine, it will let you know. The spine and corners is usually where you have some issues, so we try to get those as well. Usually not as important on the back cover, but it's a nice dark cover, so it really pops any kind of issues. And then we'll show you just a few of the interior pages so you can get a feel for the quality and condition. Finally, a weird one here. Something a little bit different. This is Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This is part of their manga series, so a little bit of a different take on it. But this is from 2005 in the Sabrina series. We'll flip it over on the back so you can see that. And just an interesting thing to do with the title, to have it be this sort of manga inspired. If you're a fan of the Japanese manga or the anime, then you might like this one. I haven't seen the interiors yet, so we'll see that in a moment, but I imagine them to be little chibi versions. Nope, I was wrong. But very anime. It would have been cool if they had it read from right to left, but still a pretty cool one right there. So there you have it. That is Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, number 69.